What's up, guys? It's Simply Coco here, and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe as usual, and feel free to leave a comment. Here's another speed build. I'm calling this, it's gonna be like a hot springs, modern hot spring cabin. You'll see why it's hot springs in a minute as we get further into the video. So right now I'm just doing the exterior. I really enjoy it after once it all comes together. It comes together really nice. This is a photo. This build is based off a reference photo I found on Pinterest. I'm not gonna put it up on the screen because the editing software I use won't allow me to lay the video over. Anyway, we're working on getting better. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm working on getting a better editing software. So yes, we're just doing the outside. It's like this modern cabin, like it's a cabin, but I tried to modernize it. I hope that comes off. Here I am just placing some of the landscaping. I eventually look around and see what's around, and I pull some out of debug, and I think it really makes the lot blend into the surroundings a whole lot more than what it was had I just used the flowers and stuff from the Build and Buy catalog. I hate that you have to put the foundation down in order to put plants right up close to it. It bothers me. Now I'm just doing the dirt and some things. I'm putting some sand just to make the lot, again, blend with the surroundings. This is in Brindleton Bay. It's on the lot what is this called? The Bedlington Boathouse, that lot. It's it's that lot. I don't know the size of the lot, but this ends up being a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house with a indoor hot spring. And that's what I was doing down in the basement area, and you'll see that in a second. Now I'm inside, and it took me a while to do the floor plan. I really wanted this to be a 2-bedroom house, but it just wasn't working. Because I could have put it over there on the other side of what I'm doing right now, but that was going to be the kitchen, and it would have been a really small and weird kitchen had I put a bedroom over there. But you could probably shuffle some things around and make this a 2-bedroom home if you wanted to. I didn't really have much of a thought as far as what kind of Sims I thought would live here. I thought it would be a couple. Probably a young couple, since it's more of a modern build. But as far as their storyline, I didn't really have nothing really came to mind. If I see something in the video that reminds me of what storyline I had in mind, I'll mention it when I see it. But as of right now, I don't think I had any storyline or any family that I pictured living here. I just knew that they wouldn't be rich, but they wouldn't be poor. If that's a poor choice of wording, but they're comfortable, and maybe this is even just their vacation home. Maybe they don't even live here. Maybe they just come when they don't have to work or want to go on a small vacation or something. I don't know. Like I said, maybe something will spark my mind. This rug right here that I'm putting under the dining table, it's the little fluffy rug, and I absolutely love it. But once you size it up, I think twice, you cannot move it anymore. You either delete the floor or you're just stuck. If you move on and that rug is there, that rug is just going to be there because you would have to delete everything else you put. But I do love the rug. I don't know if that's a bug with just specifically that rug or what. But now I'm just trying to figure out the layout of the kitchen. It took me a while to figure out where the stove was going to go because I didn't want it to intersect with a window. So then I went through several different window options, and you'll see that several times, and I just could not for the life of me figure it out. I finally came up with something and just went with it. But as you can see, it's a very, very open floor plan. I don't think you could get any more open than what this is. And I'm just using the dining room table as a divider between the living room and the kitchen. And I think it turned out pretty okay. Usually, I've started to try to furnish one room, clutter it up, finish it, and then move on. But in this build, since it was so open, I kind of just jump back and forth as I find different items. I'm just like, okay, this can go there, this can go there, this can go there. And it worked for this build, but if you get a little dizzy and get a little frustrated with me moving around, I do apologize. It was just such an open floor plan that I couldn't really focus on one spot without looking everywhere else. So as you can see, I am using a lot of stuff from the Moschino Stuff Pack. I used those couches from Moschino Stuff Pack and the little side chair, and I kind of connected it to the couch as if it was one. And then I can't speak. And then I connected the Moschino Stuff Pack coffee table with the end table, and I kind of put them together to make a longer end table. Now I'm just kind of doing the front entrance. Well, I was. Now I'm moving on to the bedroom. I ended up just leaving the wood because I wanted to make this place seem like, even though it's modern, I wanted it to still look like it was a cabin first, and it just was updated with maybe some new walls and some new furniture, but not so much the foundation. So as you can see, the color scheme is very white and black strictly. Eventually it'll be some green in there with some plants. Now I'm doing the indoor hot spring. So a hot spring, if you don't know, it's kind of like this water source that is heated up naturally by the earth, and people go and they just soak in the steamy water, and it's supposed to be really relaxing and really nice, So what I did I did that down here, tried to make a really funky looking hot spring. It took me a long time to figure out the shape I wanted it to be in. As you can see, I'm struggling. Then when I finally got it into the shape, I couldn't figure out how to change the type of water that was in it, the color. Finally, I realized that you had to go down another level to the actual pool to put the color on it. So this was the shape that I was going to go with, but then I was like, okay, that's a lot of unused space. That's probably what I'm looking at now. So I made it even bigger, because I was like, that's a lot of just space back there that's not being used that could be. So I just made it more water, and I just left places where I could put some vegetation. So now I'm just using these water weeds that came with Get Together. The algae came with Get Together. The murky watercolor came with Get Together. And I literally just make this look as lush as possible while still trying to make it look natural, like it grew here. Like maybe when they moved in, they planted this, and then it just took on, they planted some things, and then all of it just took on a life of its own. I imagine, I don't really know how you would I don't know how realistic having this in a basement would be, but I mean, in my mind, the basement is closer to the Earth's core, which is what's hot, and I don't know. In my mind, it works, but this water isn't going to actually steam. You do see me, or actually you don't see me because I'm done with it, but I did go through and look through the fountain things to see if one of them was steam, and there wasn't. So that's why the sauna's down there. That way that room is actually usable, and there will be some steam that comes from the sauna. So that'll kind of hopefully it'll fill the whole room and make it look like it's a hot spring. So now I'm doing the living room, cluttering it up and adding some flowers. I really like the TV I used, but then I was like, no, like this unit from Tiny Living is like perfect for this spot anyway. Now I'm just literally just adding plants everywhere. The house is pretty much done. It's just now cluttering it up. So again, it's not done. I haven't done the bath. I haven't done the rest of the bedroom or the bathroom. But now I'm just cluttering up certain spots that I feel like I want it to get out of the way. And yeah, I struggled with this. What is this called? This toilet? Not toilet. I think that's the second time I've called Kleenex toilet tissue, since I've been posting speed builds. I really like the idea of using those spotlights in the kitchen. I never did look on the inside of the house at nighttime. I did look at the outside of the house at nighttime. I think that light worked really well. That light is from Dine Out. I think that worked really well over the dining room table. One thing about open floor plans, like a lot of people, real quick, I ended up changing the wallpaper. The paint on the wall was just white, but it was almost too bright. So I used this kind of grayish like siding that came with Spa Day, and I used that to make it look, it's actually the same thing I used on the outside, just on the outside it's black. And I thought this worked better because this is supposed to be a cabin. So I was like, okay, this makes it look more like a cabin. It's built from wood, you know? So that's why I changed that. And it's not as bright. And I love the idea of using these as like it's leaning against the wall and the whatever it's sitting on. But yeah, what I was saying is a lot of people say like it's kind of hard to furnish a open floor plan kind of house because it's like everything is so open, there's like no separation, and it's kind of like where do you put what? And then like having 3 rugs in one room is kind of looks ridiculous. But I think when it comes to an open floor plan, the less complicated the better. Like I really didn't want to put this desk right here because it just made everything look too cramped, in my opinion. But I mean, they needed a computer. I mean, you kind of have to have a computer in The Sims unless you're doing an off-grid kind of situation. But yeah, you have to, for an open floor plan, you have to use the furniture as the separation. So remember earlier in the speed build, I had the couch facing the other way, facing the kitchen. But then I was like, no, I need to turn it around. That way, that will kind of act as a separation between that and the dining room. It'll act as the back of the couch will act as a separation between the living room and the dining room. And the dining room itself, the dining room table, is a separation between the living room and the kitchen. And so I think that is probably the best way as far as furnishing a open concept floor plan is to use the furniture as your dividers. Now I'm just cluttering up the kitchen. It's a really simple clutter. I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't even give them a coffee pot, just a tea brewer. Then I just threw some rugs down and called it a day with the kitchen. Yes, and then I went to put blinds in. The blinds that I'm using, these black ones from University, I imagined I use them in the bedroom and I use them over the computer. I imagine they would be the type of blinds that they have a remote and they click and they use the remote to make the blinds go up or down. And I really like that idea. It made it look it gave me more of a modern feel than just them being, you know, your normal blinds that you go and pull the string to pull them up and turn the thing to open the blades. Now I'm in the bedroom. At first I was going to go with the same kind of grayish wood, but then I was like, no, I think they would like a black bedroom. So now I am trying to find a dresser, obviously. I finally went with this one from Base Game. And I just scooted it into the wall as much as possible so that they'd be able to walk to the other side of the bed. The bathroom is right next to their room, but I did not make it an ensuite because it's the only bathroom in the house. And I don't like the idea, like right now, the apartment I live in, if I have company, they have to walk through my bedroom to get to the bathroom. And I absolutely hate that. I mean, granted, I don't have a lot of company, but if I were to have company, I wouldn't want someone walking through my bedroom to get to my bathroom. I mean, I don't know. Maybe to some of you that wouldn't be a big deal, but to me, I'm just like, what if my bedroom is dirty? What if there's something there I don't want you to see? I mean, you just never know. So I don't like that idea. Like when I was looking for my first apartment, like that was my main thing, to not have a bathroom in the room only. And I found that, but then the place I'm in now, I couldn't pass it up because of the price, and I just had to deal with it. But now I'm moving on to the bathroom. This is a completely full bathroom. It even has a washer and dryer, as you can see, that I just placed. If you heard my dog just then, I'm sorry. He's trying to play with me. Again, a very simple bathroom. I figured those towels from Spa Day right there would be like hand towels for like if they did have company. Men's cologne, women's cologne, not women's cologne, women's perfume. So I do imagine it being a couple, young adults, elder, whoever. I would say no, probably young adult or adult. I didn't have a big, like I said, I didn't have a big storyline in my head, and I haven't seen anything that's reminded me of what I was thinking. So it's really just any sim that would love an indoor hot spring and would be in a sauna and all that kind of business, they can live in this house. That's me just putting a trash can because I always forget. I don't know if I placed it already, but I tend to always forget a thermostat and a fire alarm as well. And like I said in like my very last speed build, I don't know why fire alarms are a thing in The Sims, because all it does is notify The Sims. And like The Sims 2, maybe even in The Sims 3. I don't know about The Sims 3, but I know in Sims 2 for sure the fire department would come and take out the fire if your fire alarm went off. Anyway, now I moved on to the front deck. I really wanted to make like a sectional thing going on, but the clipping, I just was not here for it. So I ended up going with these white and black kind of benches with the yellow accents. And then I just put some flowers around. Then I wanted to put a rug underneath. I was like, no to the round rug. Finally went with just a plain one from Base Game with these hanging lights from Tiny Living. Now I put a just one more small seating area over here in front of the bedroom window. All I put on that is a plant. I tried to like catty corner it to make it look like it was lived in and people had been sitting there and didn't put the chairs back right, but it didn't really work out. So I end up just straightening it back out. I love these planter boxes. They're also Base Game. They were in a Base Game update. I don't know how long ago, but it was an update. They're huge, so I would suggest definitely sizing them down. I think at this point I am done. I'm putting a mailbox, and then I put the outside trash can, and then I think I just kind of survey the build and look around. And yeah, the screenshot should be rolling now, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!